What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I was cleaning my closet out and I was going through some old camera equipment that I purchased back in 2017. And I came across this bad boy right here, which is the Canon Rebel SL2. This is actually the first camera that I've ever purchased, that I ever owned. And yeah, this is where it all started. Started out with this camera. And I was looking at the camera. I'm like, wow, this thing's in excellent condition. It's like flawless. It doesn't have any scratches or anything, no dents on it. Looks like it just came out of the box, like I just purchased it. But yeah, this is the first camera that I purchased. I originally purchased this camera so I can because I wanted to get into making YouTube videos and doing some photography, because I took photography when I was in high school. And I've always been interested in photography, but I never really can find the time to get into it. But yeah, this is my first camera, which is a crop sensor camera. And this thing is tiny, doesn't really weigh much, it's really small. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about the camera. Yeah, this thing shoots in full HD. It only does 1080p, does 1080, 60, 30, and 24 FPS. And I believe it shoots in, you can do video in IPB standard and IPB light, and you can also do, what do you call it, time-lapse video with this thing. Yeah, you can do a time-lapse video in full HD at 30 FPS, and I believe you can shoot that in all eye. But yeah, I'm amazed how the condition this thing's in. It's like, it looks like a brand new camera. But yeah, and it's funny, I had the 50 millimeter, the Nifty 50 on here, the 1.8, and I guess that's the last lens that I used with this camera, the last time I used it. Yeah, because after this camera, in 2019, I purchased the Canon EOS R when that first came out. And I straight jumped into the mirrorless cameras. But yeah, let's talk a little bit more about this. The autofocus on this thing was really good back then. Has dual pixel autofocus and only has one card slot on here, and basically it takes a LPE17 battery in here, and basically you load that here at the bottom. You put your SD card in there and your battery is in the same place on the bottom, which is I don't really like anymore. But yeah, don't get me wrong, I love this camera. This camera has a lot of sentimental value. I took this on a lot of vacations and stuff, and recorded some really good memories with this thing. But yeah, after this camera, I purchased the EOS R, and let's take a look at some of the lenses that I purchased when I first got this camera. The first lens that I got was the Nifty 50, because that was a really popular lens. I got this lens, and then I purchased the EFS 10 to 18 millimeter. This was originally so I can make YouTube videos, but I could never get around to that. Couldn't get out of my comfort zone. I kept wanting to make YouTube videos, but then I just couldn't do it. And here's another another lens that I purchased with this, which is the 55 to 250, EFS 55 to 250. And this has image stabilization on there. That was one of the lenses I bought. And also the 10 to 18 also has image stabilization on this lens as well. And then I purchased the EFS 24 millimeter. I believe this is a 2.8. This one, it's a very small lens. Bought this lens. I like this lens. This lens was really cool. And then I started upgrading to more expensive lenses. I started buying Sigma lenses. I bought the Sigma Art Lens 50 millimeter 1.4, which is EF mount, and that was pretty awesome on this camera. I used that on this camera. The only thing, that lens was super heavy. That lens weighed a lot, and being that this is such a small, tiny camera, this thing don't really weigh much. It was kind of awkward using that on here, but actually it took some really great photos with that. And then I purchased the Sigma 24 to 70 art lens 2.8, and that's also EF mount. So I started using those two lenses on here as well. And then I purchased the Canon EOS R. And then from there I started purchasing Canon L lenses. And then just recently I upgraded to the Canon EOS R6 Mark II, which I'm really enjoying. I love that camera as well. I love all my cameras. But yeah, I don't plan on selling them or getting rid of any of them. I'm pretty much going to keep them, because I pretty much started out with this guy, and just started taking pictures of everything, and started learning more about photography. Started watching a couple online courses and everything, trying to learn as much as I can. And then when I got the Canon EOS R is when I finally started making YouTube videos, which was about a year ago. And I believe it was like maybe 11 months ago when I first uploaded my first YouTube video, because I was always like scared to make videos, and I was always worried about what other people were gonna think and stuff, but then I was just like, what, I don't care what people think. I'm gonna make videos and I'm gonna post them. So I started making videos, and I've been making videos ever since. But yeah, that's pretty much how I started. And again, I did take a photography class back in high school, because I was always interested in photography, but I could just never get around or get into it. And then finally, when I purchased this bad boy right here, is when I really started getting into it, and ever since then I've been pretty much shooting every week, going out and just making videos and taking pictures. But yeah, and yeah, I'm not gonna get rid of this. I'm gonna keep this because brings back a lot of memories, and this thing is awesome. It's got articulating screen too, which I really loved. Actually, all my Canon cameras have an articulating screen. But yeah, it didn't shoot 4K, but the 1080 p videos that this thing put out, they're pretty awesome. I might just make a video with this one day. But yeah, it was a great camera, and I'm gonna take it out and go take some pictures with it, probably this weekend. All right, guys, so yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good day. Bye. I'm out. Peace.